What's up?
Here we are again.
Yet again. I pulled a classic Masurai and my dumbass again for like the 5th time already. Forgot to unmute whilst doing a voiceover.
We've had a recording of 40 minutes.
40 fucking minutes!
40. And
wasted.
it didn't save because of the fucking mute.
Yeah, I'll never get that time back again. But it's alright. So basically, I had 40 minutes of clips of Ben and I just playing the game. In the last one, you'll see me hunting Ben because that's fucking hilarious.
Audio is shit, so I'm Dutch, so we chose to upload this type of content for the first time here.
Precisely. So, first time a podcast is here.
First time podcast, yeah. So let us know what you guys think, and if you would like to see this around more.
We want a lot of
feedback.
And without any further dilly-dallying,
let's get into the juicy information.
we gave you a clickbait thumbnail, and now we're gonna tell you a lot of bullshit for really getting into it. No, so basically we're not gonna do the entire talk we did 40 minutes ago again, because that wouldn't be authentic. But we will recap real quick what we talked about. We started yapping about the expectations we have for DMZ 2. So to get you started, a little bit of information on the leaks. According to the leaks, DMZ 2 will have smaller maps, a little bit more similar to how you would have ground war maps in multiplayer, about that size, maybe a little bit bigger, but obviously not any smaller. And there is a leak that will have a night mode, dynamic weather and time, which is epic, hyped for that. And then the last leak, or at least the last one that I remember, is that there would be PvE in a game mode, and a game mode solely for PvE. And we talked about that, and we just said, like, yeah, if anyone is gonna want to do PvE or missions, they'll now just play the PvE mode, and thus will not have any casual players in the PvE matches, which means that it'll turn into the version of DMZ we have right now, which isn't as enjoyable as OG DMZ was. So we are kind of afraid that it feels really weird to be talking on my own now. It feels like it's not going to improve much, and you'll just have two boring game modes, whereas we want that big first community back in which everyone can just do their thing.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're going to keep it separate, the ones are just going to complete all the quests in a separate game mode with only AI, and that is just going to take away the fun of the casualness of the PvP game mode, because you're going to get all the sweaty, quote unquote sweaty players in the PvP game mode because they want to play PvP, and all the less skilled players are going to be in the PvE game mode, and that's just going to result in player fatigue again, because you're just going to have to try hard and do everything you can to be able to have a fun game, and that's just not going to make people stay.
Yeah, because another large part of DMZ and extraction shooters as a whole is gear fear. Gear fear adds tension to the game, and it makes it a lot more fun. If you just play PvE, where is the gear fear? Where's that frightening idea of having to go into the game with all of your gear to do a mission and being able to lose it because of the overwhelming PvP game players, whatever. And then that really just, friendly encounters are even more fun when it is in such a hostile environment. So that balance, we're afraid it'll get taken out.
Yeah, and to continue on that, we were talking about the fact that there were 6-man platoons in here.
Yes.
And there are 4-man teams right now. And I said, as being a new DMZ player, I think, because I haven't played a lot with 16 players, 6-player teams, I mean, it's just very difficult to play against those as a solo, and in my opinion, I think 4-player teams are the solution. So I agree with the way things are right now, but Masurai had other ideas.
Yeah, because 6-man teams, they can be casual too, and we had plenty of that back in the old days. Furthermore, it's a team of 6. It's kind of mad confusing. Communications are at 0, it's just chaos and overconfidence, and personally, I found it a lot of fun to fight them as a solo. But not everyone is as sweaty and no life like as me, of course. So you'll have the casuals to deal with too. Um, so that is, of course, another controversial topic. But whatever you do, if you have 6-man teams in the game, um, I'd rather they nerf the 6-man teams in any form than just remove them again like they did the last time. Because the 6-man teams, they're a lot of fun. So just find any way to work with them, like make their position visible at the map at any time, or make them have less HP or whatever. But just if you're gonna add them, don't remove them.
No, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
I get that. You have to make a decision and stay at that decision, unless the whole community is mad.
yeah, but like the whole community, not just a part.
Exactly.
Furthermore, maps are going to be smaller. Ben doesn't have a lot of experience with the old game and how fun these massive fights in Masurai used to be, with loads and loads and loads of players and teams fighting one position for the entire duration of the map, and then the final exfils being intense with loads and loads of players and bots. So yeah, honestly, I would love to see the bigger maps returning, and not just these ground wall size, Ashika size, Vondel size, whatever maps. That was another conclusion. Brought us to the topic of AI.
And my first opinion, my first instinct was to say AI is strong as hell.
Yeah, they are.
And the numbers are just too large.
Yes, because I wouldn't mind fighting very strong AI that hits all shots and just keeps shooting and beaming instead of just bursts of fire. I wouldn't mind AI being more like players, like finishing kills and shit like that. But just give us less AI. It's overwhelming, and when you have to fight both AI and players, it mismatches. You have to both fight a horde and players that can think for themselves, which is a bad combination. So I would like to see better AI, just less of it.
Yeah, once you shoot one AI right now, there's a chopper with 6 reinforcements, and the rest of the AI in the surrounding areas coming to push you. You can't even go up a zipline without being beamed to death, or at least taking all your plates.
Yeah.
And that really makes the PvP a lot harder when you're not in a pole position, such as power plant, because the PvP are such important things in your favor when you camp power plant, and it just makes it so much harder to get killed, and those things really piss me off.
Yep, to put it lightly.
The riot shield AIs.
Oh, fuck off. The constant shooting when you're trying to sneak up the sides of power plant.
Exactly. No, those are the issues I have with AI, at least.
Yeah. That again brings us to the next topic. It's almost like we got distracted every single time I moved on to the next subject. Yeah, the POIs on the map. We thought Ashika was very heavy on the POI-based distribution of the PvP. Like, people fight in apartments and power plants, and that's about it. Then you might have a team camping hotel. Hey, almost seems applicable to this clip.
No spoilers!
No, not at all. It's a bother. And then you've got Vondel, and Vondel is perfectly spread out. It's quite nice. It's a very decentralized map. You've got a lot of different smaller POIs and positions than just buildings and homes. But the AI is an issue, of course, but we already talked about the AI now, so we're not going to fall into this repetition. Don't want to be sounding like a broken record.
Fair enough.
But yes, we would like to see basically the layout of Vondel, where it's all about the same height and buildings where you can easily get up on with multiple zip lines and less just being in the center of the map, being the campers on those buildings being guarded by snipers from third parties and bots and shit like that. So more like Vondel, but not as big as Vondel or as much AI as Vondel.
And more head-on PvP.
Yes.
Because Vondel's a lot of standing in a corner on the stairwell with a shotgun and waiting for somebody to come up. There's no head-on PvP there. It's just waiting for somebody to come up and that's it.
Which, sneaking around is fine, and I think it would make for very enjoyable fights if you got to be careful when you move around the map. Being careful moving around the map and having 138 bots push you at the same time kind of, again, contradict each other. So yeah, pick one, Activision, for the love of the game.
And we can of course get into the cheaters and the glitchers and stuff, but I expect those things to be changed when the game comes
absolutely.
out.
If you want a game, like, just make sure it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that we don't have to say a lot about.
No, we got that out of the way at least.
Yeah. Furthermore, we said the dynamics. Basically, our opinion on that is dynamic weather and time of day. It sounds very cool because it would make every single game unique and original, and force you into a specific playstyle different for every game. So you can't play with shotguns every single round. You can't play with snipers every single round. You gotta adjust your playstyle to whatever situation you get thrown to your head, which I really liked.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. It adds depth to the game, it adds layers to the game, and it just doesn't feel repetitive. Okay, let's respawn and just push up again.
Yeah.
It adds more of a thinking factor.
Yeah. We also had exfils. Exfils are cool. There's too many different ways to exfil right now, and different ways to exfil is very cool, but then do it a little bit more like Delta Force did, where the ways you exfil aren't necessarily more, but it's just more different and unique and a variety, you know. Like, right now you can exfil on any of the regular exfils. You can go to Koshi, you can buy a personal exfil, you can take a hostage, and that to me is rather wild. Then Delta Force does that a lot better, because you've got your regular exfils, you don't have personals or whatever of those other things, but those regular exfils, they are unique. So you've got, for instance, a bunker you've got to hold until the elevator arrives, or you've got a helicopter arriving on the site, I believe, or a boat somewhere. I'm not very familiar with it because Delta Force sucks, but yeah. And then some exfils you've got to pay for to be able to use them. And I think that is something that DMZ could add. So yes, personal exfil, but make it at a specific point in the map. Like, yeah, if you want to use this personal exfil, you've got to pay, but everyone can still see where it is at.
Yeah, and that's what I came with. Like, get the exfils on the map, that's fine. Get 2 exfils, 1 exfil on a small map. But alert the whole lobby that's still alive that somebody is exfilling. It puts more weight on the fact that you have to get out and secure the loot you have, instead of just dying and, okay, we might as well restart now.
Yeah, precisely.
So I think that's also a part which could help with improving the exfils and making it more valuable.
Yeah, because Final Exfil used to be one of the greatest experiences in this game. Now it's rather lame because of all the ways that people can exfil. And I can wait out a team of water rats and campers for the entire game. Ben can wait for some people that are camping under the map for them to come out. And then wait for them at Final Exfil for one magnificent fight in which you actually taunt them for their skill and fight them and then beat them in one glorious victory. But no, they'll just buy a personal exfil and disappear. So yeah, just make Final Exfil viable and cool again. That would be lovely.
And just get the personal exfils. Just get a notification out there for everybody to know.
Yeah. Make everything, if personal exfils at all come back, because honestly I'm against it, but I can understand why they would be required for the game to rule.
And I know the core of DMZ is not PvP, but get a player count somewhere. In my opinion, a player count would change a lot of the way people play the game. And I think that could be a good and a bad thing. But not a player count, but a team count.
This breaks my mind.
Why though? Why though?
Hold up. No, as a DMZ autistic, I don't have autism. I have ADD, which is autism denial disorder. No, just no. It adds so much to the game if you don't know if there's anyone left or not.
The surprise.
It forces you to play a little bit more careful, which, like we said, we want more weight to be added to the game. We want gear fear to be a thing again. We want the game to feel serious again. Instead of just constantly going in, doing the same bullshit, dying and going out, and even your victories feeling like worthless whatevers. So yeah, I think that entire doubt of having people left or not, that does add on to the gear fear.
I think you are right though. It's true, it does add to the fact that you have to play cautious because you just don't know 100% sure if somebody's left. If somebody's still, if you know there's one team left and you know you've seen one of them, you know where they are. But I think you changed my mind. I think I do agree with you now because it does. I haven't thought about it that way, but it does help with the gear fear and having the unpredictability of the game really work in the favor of scaring the players and making them more alert to everything and making them more careful instead of just reckless pushing in everywhere and doing anything they can to get a few kills because you don't know how many people are left.
Yep.
I think you're right though.
That's what you get for trying to talk on your own.
True.
No, keep talking. Because we know, I believe, but I'm not sure, we've just talked about everything we talked about in our last most perfect recording that I absolutely fucking messed up.
I think that was all, yes.
Right, it was so good.
It was
improvised. Perfect. It was perfect. So the last minute detail, other than the mute button still being on. We now wrote down some things to talk about, because now we were prepared. 3 plates. This was at the end of last recording.
We had a minute and 30 seconds to talk about this.
Yeah, now we've got a full 23 minutes.
So, let's go.
Precisely, yeah, 3 plates. I think everyone should spawn with a 3 plate. Because I think for the PvP aspect, which PvP is a main aspect of this game, even though it is not about PvP, PvP keeps you on your toes and makes the game interesting. It makes it very unfair when you spawn in with a 1 plate and your enemy spawns in with a 3 plate, that just at a ground level your time to kill is shit. But that might be due to the current pacing of the game. Everything's very fast paced, so you're kind of forced to take your enemies on as early on in the game as you can, especially on Ashika. But it forces you to as quickly as possible take out some enemies to get a 3 plate, because otherwise you're dead. You can look solo with 1 plate versus solo with 3 plate, only 2 plates difference. That is 100 HP. But if you're on your own with a 1 plate and you spawn in against a team of 3 who's just exiled last round, because of course they're a team of 3, they've all got 3 plates. That means that you have 50 plates of armor HP, and they've got 3 times 3, so 9 times
extra.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
I'm not very good at maths, so I don't know what 9 times 50.
9 times 50.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. We're gonna
go
for 450, but that's fine.
Hold on, let's do this mathematically. They've got 9 times 50. We've got 1 times 50.
Yeah, exactly. So that's 300 extra HP that they have.
Yeah, it's
100 per person.
It's wild.
It is a big difference, but however.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It wasn't that difficult, dude. But however, when you fight a team, a 3-man team with 3 plates, and you kill every single one of them, do you feel good? Fuck yes.
True. Yes.
Fuck
okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, and
But then
there should be a reward for exfilling.
Okay, but if we're gonna talk about it like that, then all of your enemies should spawn with RGLs and shotguns and whatever advantage too, because it only feels better when you can beat it.
No.
It's not Dark Souls. It's Call of Duty. Gives us at a base level some fundamental equalitarian.
But what is the point of the plates anyway? If everybody's gonna spawn with a 3 plate.
Yeah, that's the thing. Looting, of course. 3 plates is something you loot for. 3 plates are the reason people loot. You could change that a little bit and say that you can loot for special plates. So you can find stealth vests of 2 plates, and you can make stealth vests of 3 plates, the way it is right now. But then if you find a 2-plate stealth vest, you basically choose to trade some of your HP for that
Trade.
Yeah, for the trade.
Okay, fair enough, but I think the fights, for example, the ones we have here, the off-spawn ones, are gonna be so beefy and so long, and everybody, if you fight off-spawn, the half of the game is gone when you're done fighting, because everybody's gonna have a 3-plate, everybody's gonna have a shit ton of HP.
But that makes it more fun, because it makes the fights endure for much longer.
True,
because
but they're gonna
look at it from their perspective. They just spawned. If they hadn't had 3 plates, I didn't even look. Did they have 3 plates?
I
no,
have
they had
no
2
clue
plates.
actually. But
We had 3 plates. They did not. Did you see how easy this fight was for us?
that
How
was because
difficult
we
for them?
we had a pole position. They
That
were in the
too.
water and we were behind
That
the
too.
railing.
But it did make their fight a lot more difficult at a fundamental level.
It did. But having these fights, for example, in apartments, is just way less significant to have one plate compared
now
to the
you're
3
looking
plate.
at Ashika.
True.
If we have more equal maps in which you can fight players and then go on to find another team to fight later on, because the map is more balanced and spread out, and PvP is spread out, and not everyone is dead within the first 5 minutes, which
Fair
is
enough,
the goal
fair
of a
enough.
spread out map, then I think it would only be fair for everyone to spawn with a 3 plate.
I get
And then
that.
yes, you can sacrifice your HP for a trade, or you can loot for more rare items to keep looting relevant, to trade in for a 3-plate stealth vest or a tempered vest or whatever. So they do get an advantage, just not at an HP level, if they loot for it.
I do think it's something they should think about, but I don't think it's a solution. Because I also said in the previous recording, get everybody a 1 plate, and let everybody start at the same level, even if you extra with a 3 plate. That's just money. But that also brings the luck factor in, which is the way it is right now. But I don't really have any problems with the way it is right now. But that's might be because I haven't really played El Mazrah. Because I can imagine if you're just walking around in a playing field in El Mazrah, you have a 1 plate, you're gonna die instantly by somebody that beams. But you have time to respawn if you have a 3 plate.
Or a sniper or whatever.
Yeah, okay, so I understand that could be a difference, and that's why I don't really think I have that much of an opinion about this, but that's how I look at it. The way it is right now, I don't have any problems with it. I'm not like, oh, I wish I would have spawned with a 3 plate every game, just like everybody else.
Yeah, no, I sometimes do. But then it's in situations like I kill a dude, but he takes away all of my plates simply because I have 1 plate. So even though I absolutely jump him, he can still turn around and take some of my plates. And then his fellow mates can easily beam me because I don't have any HP left. And it really doesn't matter how much better I am or whatever. So again, for the sake of the skill gap, which was another topic last recording, I just realised. The skill gap. For the sake of the skill gap, I think it would be fair if everyone were to have a 3 plate at the start of the game. Just to keep the PvP based on skill instead of what level of loot you have. Because that's another thing in Delta Force, which I absolutely hate. It's very, very reliant on your gear. You can't even enter some maps if you don't have enough gear. And that is wild. That is also kind of what ruins the entire zero to hero idea for me. But yeah, we're not going to talk about Delta Force now. I would complain for 3 hours long. But yeah.
No, but I agree. The skill gap is something that's a must-have in this game, and I think the smaller maps will help create the skill gap.
Yes.
Because the smaller maps just require you to be more active. Like, as you can see, the difference between Al Mazrah players and Ashika players.
The difference is so big, and I get that some people would prefer a larger map, and I mean, by all means, put a larger map in there, but the skill gap is really going to be created by using small maps, and I agree with the loot. The loot shouldn't be this important because I spawn in a lot of the time without any weapons, and I kill one AI and I have a gun, and I have a gunfight that I should win. But the guns are just not strong enough, and it's very hard to find a good gun unless you kill somebody. And I think from that way, the distribution of loot should have a change, or at least it should be easier to get weapons that are better.
That is, you couldn't know this of course, but that is mostly because AI weaponry never got updated. So now you've got the most recent factions on Ashika. They do spawn with ice hemlocks, but the ice hemlock was only it was a part of the game only later on. So that's probably the most recent weapon you can get from AI. But other than that, yeah, there's just a lot of very strong weapons that AI doesn't have on them. So you can't find a Tempest Torrent in game. You gotta have it from AI, or you can't find a Karak, or name any recently added weapon for DMZ standards recently. You can't find it unless players bring it in for you. So that, yes, I do agree with. But AI regularly has a vel on them. You just got to know where it is.
No, true, you're right. But like when I spawn in on Ashika and I go in without weapons because my stash is empty again, it's just so difficult for me to get at least a decent weapon. I don't even care if it's like give me a fucking Lachman sub and I'm happy, but it's so hard to. I get RPKs or expedites. That's it, most of the time, and sometimes I get a Vaznev or something. But it's so difficult.
Cast of 762 works, 545 works.
True, but those I don't get them that often, and that makes the off-spawn fights. For me, I'm at a very clear disadvantage in the off-spawn fights. I just have to use my throwing knives because I'm not going to be able to kill anybody with the gun I have. Potentially I could.
Yeah, so your issue is more with the spawns than with the weapons.
I think eventually, coming down to it, yes, I think that is the problem.
So it's a bit of both, because you can't really avoid, especially if the maps are going to be smaller, you can't avoid having fights early on in the game.
No, and that's fine.
So you'd have to. It would be easier to find weapons,
But it shouldn't be impossible for people to go in without weapons and not be like. It feels like when I go in without weapons, I don't really have a chance. It feels like I'm gonna play and I'm just gonna die to the first guy that comes up. That's also because there are shotguns and stuns in here. But I'm just gonna die to the best person because I just don't have a gun to compete with. And they all go in fully loaded. And they have 2 or 3 guns with full attachments and an SMG for close range, and I just have a throwing knife.
But they got those guns somewhere too.
No, true. And that brings me to the part pay to win.
Pay to win, let's go!
Lovely. I think you know a lot about this. You have a significant amount of euros in this game.
My armory is vast and majestic.
Yes, it is, for sure.
Pay to win. It absolutely shouldn't get you UAVs or 2 plates when everyone spawns with the 1 plate. It should.
The same for the Selfish challenge, by the way.
Yeah.
I think that should also change because.
I think all solos should spawn with a self revive.
I agree with that.
And it could be an upgrade.
Because it is such a big disadvantage.
Yeah.
But that's.
I mean, you do choose to be a solo, but still, especially if you go to a Masurai, you get sniped so easily.
True.
And AI, it's just
AI is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Talking about the pay-to-win factor.
Yes, to return to that, I'm very cleverly trying to avoid it.
I know.
No, pay to win. We can't talk about pay to win without talking about insured weapons, which luckily was also on our list.
True.
It again takes away from the gear fit, especially if you get your insured weapon back in.
I think it's 15 minutes.
Yeah, with a bundle, 15 minutes.
You go in, you use your gun, and it's like, oh shit, man, I lost my gun. Let's go into another game, and the game after your gun is back. And
Precisely.
You have 3 weapon slots.
And this, I think I do have a solution for this, and it would be a solution for your issue from the last topic too.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should have an in-game gun market.
I
Because
agree.
right now you have your wallet. You can take in a bunch of cash into a game. You can buy some gear. You can buy a backpack. You can buy whatever the fuck you want. But you can't really choose what gun to buy or what attachments to buy on that gun. Yeah, there's like 5 guns a buy station, but they're all shit guns and they've all got shit preset attachments.
True.
I think you should be able to buy these guns outside of the game too. So, and that is again a thing from Delta Force that I think they did do well. Being able to buy a gun in the menu is pretty goated.
But like, what is the money doing in my stash? Over 100k my stash. It's just sitting there. It's not doing anything
Yeah.
because I can take it in. I'm gonna die anyway, and
Yeah.
the money doesn't really change the game for me. And if I exfil once, I have 40k back. Like,
Yeah. And do make these guns mad expensive, and the attachments too. I don't mind paying like
no, true,
250
but
to
you
a
gotta
million
grind
in-game
for it,
value.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
The
'Cause
grinding
then-
is not the bad part. But
Then you do loot runs just to earn some money to be able to buy new guns for your stash.
exactly, because I don't even do the loot runs anymore just because I'm gonna lose them anyway.
Yeah, but that would basically, because insured weapons remove gear fear, and I get that insured weapons, at the moment you need insured weapons to get like your own build, your own blueprints, your own camos, and your weapon tuning, which tuning is kind of useless other than for optics, so I hope they keep the optic tuning in, but the rest of it can kind of just fuck off, especially in console. It takes a while to do.
The tuning is a stupid part of the game.
Yeah, other than optics.
Yeah, no, but that should just be gone, and I don't think
Yeah.
they're gonna implement that in the next one. I
No.
really hope they won't.
But basically, this detailed in-game market for weapons would remove the need for an insured, and thus again add gear fear and add some weight to your games and losing stuff.
Mhm.
So I think that would be a cool solution.
I was also thinking you can also, like, everybody that spawns, give them the exact same weapon with 1 or 2 attachments, so at least everybody does have a weapon, and it won't be the best weapon in the game, and the people that take in weapons will have better weapons, and that's fine. But at least give the people who spawn without a chance.
Yeah, but that would be kind of like
It's like more of a weapon. Like,
yeah, and it's
give them
again,
an LMS. Give
it's
them an
forcing
LMS.
stuff on people too, because
True.
I like to sometimes just run knives only. Then of course I could drop that gun they give me, but it's not something I chose for.
No, true.
I'd rather not. Like, no, thank you, game. Fuck off.
But there's enough situations where a gun does help kill the AI, and that's really a thing I run into because spawning in without
yeah,
guns.
okay, but you can execute AI, you can knife AI, you
Yeah,
can
true.
throwing knife AI,
unless
you
they
can
see
punch them, you
you're
can
not-
find a weapon in a crate.
No,
It
true.
really just that's a skill issue, and that's on you.
Yeah, true.
That, I'm not very fond of the idea of everyone spawning with the same gun if they choose not to go in with a weapon. And I can't quite put a finger on that feeling yet, but I'm sure I have some subconsciously very valid reasons not to like that idea.
No, I mean, I can understand it does take away from the fact that you have a stash, you bring
Yeah,
in your own
and
gun,
the
you
idea of
collect them.
zero to hero.
True.
Like, it's again, I try to go in with as few as possible, as little as possible.
I go
I
in
want to
with
make
nothing.
it difficult on myself. Precisely. Just the idea of the game pitying you is
No,
a bit,
fair.
yeah. Especially in an extraction shooter, if you want some weight added to the game, especially if you can just spawn with a weapon no matter what, then it doesn't really matter if you die or not.
But,
'cause
like,
you'll just have a weapon again.
Don't you have that sometimes you kill an AI and it's just a fucking piece of shit weapon? You
Yeah.
don't want to use anyway. Like those
Then
are
you
the
use
weapons.
that to kill another bot.
Yeah, those are the weapons you would get at spawn. I think that is like.
Yeah.
But hold
nah.
on. This game has free loadouts sometimes.
Yeah,
I
if
think
your
that
stash
is
is
a-
empty.
I think
that
that
is
is
a
a
good
good
one.
addition.
Yes.
I think that is the solution to the problem I've been stating now.
Yeah,
And I didn't even
might
think
very well
about it
be.
though. But I think that is something they should
Yeah.
implement in the next
I
one
think
too.
it should, again, it should be an option. You should be able, like, yeah,
It is an
give
option
me a
now.
weapon,
Yeah.
and only if your stash is empty.
Yeah.
And then you should be able to choose, like, no, thank you, good sir, I would not like a Lockwood, give me that LMS.
Yeah, okay. Just give it 3 options at the start of the
Yeah.
game. Yeah, okay.
And then,
fair.
would you like a pistol with that? No, thank you, I'd rather have my fists.
Yeah,
Shit
no,
like
no,
that,
no,
yeah.
no,
Just some
I got
casual John Wick shopping.
No, but looking back, I do think that is a very good solution, and that they did this well in this game, because I experienced those free loadouts to do help a bit in the off-spawn fights. I at least have something to kill the AI with, instead of just walking up to one and throwing knife, but then the rest just absolutely fries me. So
Yeah.
I think that is a solution.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, very good point.
Yeah, now I'm talking about the gunplay.
Yay!
What do we think about the recoil in this game?
Oh man, the visual recoil is quite bad. For instance, if you take an M13C, it has... Fellas, listen, the M13C, it has no recoil. Shut the fuck up. Quit complaining, it's a skill issue. M13C has no recoil, but its visual recoil is devastating. You can't see shit, and the optics wrangles around more than I don't know, any fucking random worm you pick up off the ground. Yeah, so the optics are a struggle. But the base recoil is very low. I think weapons should have more recoil, but less visual recoil.
I think it's fine this way, actually, because it does create this gap that you have to know what gun you're using and how bad the recoil is, and that really, if you pick up a new gun, you're not going to know unless you've played the game a lot, and that changes the fights too. The recoil should be higher, I agree, because some weapons just have way too low of recoil.
Yeah.
But I think the visual recoil is an addition that also creates more of a skill gap.
Yeah, fair.
Because you gotta get used to it. It's just such a big change.
What do you think about the muzzle flash? Like with some guns, when shooting them, the muzzle flash is so bad that you can't see
that
where
is
you're shooting.
very, very annoying. And that is a part that I think should change.
Yeah, because I would interpret that as visual recoil, but it's obviously no recoil. So
okay, fair enough. I didn't interpret that as visual recoil.
Yeah, no, fair. That's a communication issue on my part. Communication issue, skill issue. We're improving. We're upgrading. Some new issues. Let's go. No, I absolutely agree. Yeah. Look at that, it's you.
It's me.
It's me. Yeah, and then one last part. Movement.
Movement. I think the movement's perfect. It's easy to get used to. Starting the game, it's not difficult. There are skill gaps though, jump shooting and drop shotting and stuff. And I think those really increase the amount of unique fights you're gonna have.
Yeah.
The fun ones, because as I unlock more movement techniques, I learned from the great Masurai. It just gets so much more fun to outplay people, and the movement is accessible for everybody. So it's not that people who don't know the game can't play. You can still play, but the movement does have a very big skill level. But it's not as high as, like, for example, if you look at Warzone, the movement is so quick and flashy and snappy. It really makes it so hard to play for new people.
Yeah. No, I did. There's another leak I forgot about. They said that in Modern Warfare 4, which is the engine DMZ 2 is going to be based on, they will have movement a little bit more similar to Modern Warfare 3, the recent one. So like it's basically just Modern Warfare. Oh, you almost had me. It's basically Modern Warfare 2 movement, except that you can slide cancel. It's not perfect slide cancelling, and it takes a little bit more skill. We'll have to wait and see, and oh, you almost had me again. We'll have to wait and see what that looks like, but I do feel like that will make sliding valuable again.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's, my man. But yeah, sliding might be valuable again. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, the movement in DMZ. You've got to see the greater picture. It's all about dolphin diving and parachuting for the repositions. The movement is in greater lines much more important than just jump shooting, drop shotting, whatever.
And I am in love with this movement. I love this movement.
Yeah, and I love how quickly you can reposition by just pulling your parachute after a dolphin dive.
Exactly.
And not a single other extraction shooter game has that, which is why I'm sticking to DMZ.
Fair enough, as you should.
Yeah. So I really hope they can keep that in the game.
Me too.
Yeah, we're slowly running out of time. We did it again! Let's go!
Another 40 minutes full of bullshit.
Didn't know we had it in us, but yes, here we are.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Yes,
Let us know.
absolutely. We've still got 17 seconds to fill.
Give us some feedback. We want to know
Precisely.
if you guys would like to see this more often.
Yes, we'll have to make a lot more clips if you want us to do more of this. But yeah, let us know and give us some shit to talk about. Ask questions in comments. I'll add Bender's collab.